It was war with all its horror. So the Navy built a ship, the Herbert J. Thomas, to withstand the ultimate horror.
Nuclear, biological, chemical warfare.
The destroyer was designed to withstand direct chemical and biological warfare attacks, with sealed revolving doors and sealed glass all over the open areas. The Navy secretly conducted chemical tests on the ship right off Point Loma to find out if the ship and its crew could take it.
We were tests.
The ship, in early 1966, underwent months of tests.
Over the 3-week period of each test, they tested every doggone thing you could possibly test on that ship.
Now, 35 years later, the truth is emerging about these tests from a cloud of secrecy.
We had no idea.
Mark Looney, a chief on the ship, remembers the tests all too well.
The tests themselves were a lot of smoke, and the planes would let out like a smoke or gas type of thing, and it would also cover the ship.
The crew was given gas masks and told not to worry.
Although we was told that everything that was being utilized against us was mostly just all synthetic, and it was not a problem.
Well, that was not true. In May, the Pentagon declassified information on dozens of the secret tests, codenamed Project SHAD. Now, the Defense Department admits Bacillus globicea, a precursor to anthrax and known to injure those with weakened systems, was sprayed on the Herbert J.
It enveloped the whole ship, yes.
And it wasn't just gas that was used on the ship. Powerful decontaminants were used to clean the ship every day after the tests.
Now, a 3-month investigation by Fox 6 News has surveyed over 50 members of the crew and found a number that got sick after the tests.
Chief Leonard is a career sailor. The problems he's had have been cancer.
Charlie Gears left the ship with asthma. Jim Hamlin had a tumor on his lung. And Jim Cast, a gunner's mate, got pulmonary fibrosis.
He thoroughly believes that his medical problems did come from the test.
And don't forget John Ehrlich. He died in his sleep on the way home after the tests. No one has explained how or why he died. Fellow shipmate Rob DeBoer can't forget what happened to him right after the tests.
I developed some twitching in my arms, in my face, along the top of my forehead. Couldn't understand what it was coming from. Went to a specialist neurologist. He diagnosed me as having MS multiple sclerosis.
And while DeBoer wasn't crippled by whatever hit him, he wonders why it took the Pentagon 35 years to admit he was exposed to BG gas.
35 years is a long time to keep something quiet.
The individuals involved should be entitled to testing and to medical care.
Dr. Ruth Heifetz, who specializes in workplace toxic exposure, is worried not just about the gas used on the ship, but about the powerful decontaminants used all over the ship and now known to cause cancer.
They're toxic to a number of different systems in the body.
And for the men of the Herbert J who were exposed, they can only wait for the next disclosures about what was done to them. Time is not on their side.
No, it's
Our
not.
median age group is in the 50s. We could all be dead by the time they finally release
This is
it.
how they find out how to poison us, ladies and gentlemen. This is how they do it. The way they poison us.
Hello, I'm Severin Suzuki speaking for ECHO, the Environmental Children's Organization. We're a group of 12 and 13-year-olds trying to make a difference. Vanessa Seti, Morgan Geisler, Michelle Quigg, and me. We've raised all the money to come here ourselves, to come 5,000 miles to tell you adults you must change your ways. Coming up here today, I have no hidden agenda. I am fighting for my future. Losing my future is not like losing an election or a few points on the stock market. I am here to speak for all generations to come. I am here to speak on behalf of the starving children around the world whose cries go unheard. I am here to speak for the countless animals dying across this planet because they have nowhere left to go.
This is a girl talking to the UN who is causing all of this misery. Listen to this.
I am afraid to breathe the air because
From
I don't know
1992.
what chemicals are in it. I used to go fishing in Vancouver, my home, with my dad, until just a few years ago we found the fish full of cancers. And now we hear of animals and plants going extinct every day, vanishing forever. In my life, I have dreamt of seeing the great herds of wild animals, jungles and rainforests full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see. Did you have to worry of these things when you were my age? All this is happening before our eyes, and yet we act as if we have all the time we want and all the solutions. I'm only a child, and I don't have all the solutions. But I want you to realize, neither do you. You don't know how to fix the holes in our ozone layer. You don't know how to bring the salmon back up a dead stream. You don't know how to bring back an animal now extinct. And you can't bring back the forest that once grew where there is now a desert. If you don't know how to fix it, please stop breaking it. Here, you may be delegates of your government, business people, organizers, reporters, or politicians, but really, your mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, and all of you are someone's child. I'm only a child, yet I know we are all part of a family, 5 billion strong. In fact, 30 million species strong. And borders and governments will never change that. I'm only a child, yet I know we are all in this together and should act as one single world towards one single goal. In my anger, I am not blind, and in my fear, I am not afraid of telling the world how I feel. In my country, we make so much waste. We buy and throw away, buy and throw away, buy and throw away, and yet northern countries will not share with the needy. Even when we have more than enough, we are afraid to share. We are afraid to let go of some of our wealth.
That's because the Rothschilds
In
want them all
Canada,
to
we live
die.
a privileged life with plenty of food, water, and shelter. We have
Yes,
lunches,
we have to get rid of
bicycles,
these useless
computers,
eaters. What are you talking about,
food to go on
girl?
for 2 days. 2 days ago, here in Brazil, we were shocked when we spent time with some children living on the streets. This is what one child told us. I wish I was rich. And if I were, I would give all the street children food, clothes, medicines, shelter, and love and affection. If a child on the streets who has nothing is willing to share, why are we who have everything still so greedy?
Because you're useless eaters
I
and
can't
we
stop
must
thinking
control
that these
the
are children
world.
my own age, that it makes a tremendous difference where you are born. That I could be one of those children living in the favelas of Rio.
You will be.
I could be a child starving in Somalia,
Not
Or a
much
victim of
farther
war
away there,
in the
darling.
Middle East, or a beggar in India.
Things haven't changed much in
I am only a child,
20
yet I
years,
know
have they?
if all the money spent on war was spent on finding environmental answers, ending poverty.
Well, that's
and
what we're
finding
doing with the
trees,
global carbon
what a wonderful
taxes. Come
place
on,
this
global
earth would
warming,
be.
please.
At school, even in kindergarten,
Yes, with
teach
the
us how
readers
to
out of
see
your
the
school
world.
and textbooks for medicine and everyone
teach
else.
us
Come on, we tell you what is the
not to
truth.
fight with others,
You must listen.
to work things out,
Otherwise, you're a
to
conspiracy
respect
theorist.
others, to clean up our mess, not to hurt other creatures, to share, not be greedy. Then why
Okay, obviously, this girl was just an amazing speech, and she's probably like, I guess maybe now in her 30s or late 20s. Or, no, actually, she's probably in her 20s. She was 12, 13 years old. She's probably like 35 years old. I wonder what she's doing right now, where she is. But it's true. I mean, the average American, if you really did look at it, you know, or the average human doesn't act like these New World Order insane lunatics. They have humanity, you know, like they would help if you came in, if you had all this wealth, you would feed the world, but you don't understand that there is literally an agenda to deindustrialize and depopulate this planet, to deindustrialize the West, to depopulate the West, and absolutely for Africa and other of the third world countries, to not give them the technologies that could give them growth. And they're choosing who's living and who's dying and what it is, and this is their world order. So now you understand why I fight it so much, and it drives me absolutely insane, because there's no other way to look at it other than to say, you know, these people are intent on destroying free humanity, telling you what you can eat, telling you what you can drink, telling you what you can do, where you can do it, how you can do it, if you can do it. And nobody is paying attention, or not enough people. And it's so easy. It's like that's the thing. That's what's so evil about their deception. It is right in front of your face, yet you don't see it. They buy the bullshit. They believe. They don't want to not believe. That's the truth. They don't want to not believe. They cannot change their belief systems. It is too painful to admit that you were deceived and you were wrong and that everything that you've ever thought about and believed was a lie. That is the whole truth. I mean, that is the whole truth. UNICEF, the United Nations, World Wildlife Fund, these are all fraudulent operations. The United Nations speaking peace, making war, in the name of liberty and freedom, to stop oppression and tyranny. I pray that today, that all of the soldiers that have fallen for these greedy corporations and their purposes haven't died in vain, and that we that are alive are all soldiers, not just military. We are all soldiers of liberty and freedom, and that we will dedicate our lives to fight for them who have lost their lives, unfortunately, in most cases, in many, many cases, especially Vietnam. Absolutely. In the names of corporations, not freedom, not to end communism. When our own government, on record, Hoover funding the Nazis in his administration, the Rockefellers funding the Nazis through the war. It goes on and on and on and on. The thievery that went on, the corruption in that government is just unbelievable. History. Funding the communists. Hoover funded communism. He funded the Nazis. Not Herbert Hoover. I mean Herbert Hoover, not J. Edgar Hoover. Herbert Hoover. Oh, Eustace Mullins' great book should be read by everyone listening. It's a book called The World Order, written in 1985. Great read. It's like 300 pages, but it'll take you a long time to read it because there's so much knowledge in it, so much research. Congressional testimony, congressional papers, all researched to the letter. Federal Reserve fraud, the whole thing, it's just all right in plain sight. Everybody, it's right there. Go to the Rockefeller Foundation in 1968, and you'll go on their own website, rockefellerfoundation.com, pull up the report, the annual report from '68, and it says it. You can read it right there. You can print it off. You can do whatever you want with it. And it says that, yep, we're going to piggyback, stimulants and other viruses and stuff like that to help quell the population.